Today I'd like to talk about the budget that the Senate rolled out this week, and there's a lot of elements of that budget that I'm really proud of. One is the bipartisan nature of it. You had Senator Hill from the Majority Caucus, you had Senator Hargrove from the Minority Caucus. You also had a lot of other members, different chairs of the different committees that are really experts in their areas. And so it was really a collaborative process. I think Senator Hargrove said it best, and he's been here 28 years in the legislature, when he said it was the most open, transparent, bipartisan process that he's been involved in. And I think that's something really to be proud of. I think that's what citizens want us to do. Come together, work together, forget about the politics, and really try to solve the problems that are facing Washington State, making sure that we have a world-class education system, making sure that we have an economy that works for everyone. A couple of details of that budget. If you look at when we started this coalition, we kept talking about jobs and education. When it comes to education, we spend $1 billion more on McCleary and education. If you look at our total education budget, we have $1.5 billion of additional revenue. You know, a lot of times, this is my 11th year in Olympia, we talk about the paramount duty of it, you know, that education's our paramount duty. But when it comes to budgeting, it's never really been our primary focus. And we've really turned that around. If you look at in Washington State this next biennium, we will have $2 billion in additional revenue. 90% of that additional revenue we put towards education. $1.5 billion in our K-12 system. We put some substantial money in early learning, and over $300 million in our higher education system. So I really do think it's a tidal change here in Olympia as far as our direction, our reprioritization, and I think it's what the people want. One of the other stories that you often hear in Olympia is, if we're going to support education, we need more tax revenue. I think one of the big differences between our Senate budget and the governor's budget, there's a couple of numbers I'd like you to really know about. One, the governor spends $1.1 billion more than we do through $1.2 billion in new taxes. Our budget has no new taxes. But here's the story that really needs to be told. $854 million of those dollars, those additional dollars that he spends, are on non-educational expenses. So no matter how much they want to talk about that we need to do this in Olympia for the kids, for education, for the future of our state, a lot of this is not about educational resources. We've shown here in the Senate we can have a great education program, and we can do it in a manner where there is no taxes. And that's important in this environment where our economy is still really fragile. We have a high unemployment rate. We have a lot of areas where our businesses are struggling. And we need to make sure that as a state we're competitive because in this era, businesses are mobile. They can go from state to state, especially those businesses that are in the software and biotech areas. They're flexible. A lot of states want those kind of businesses. We need to be competitive in Washington State so that not only we can keep our businesses here, but that we can also make sure that our citizens have the kind of high-paying jobs that we need here in our state.